Hello, this is my video reflection. And the first question is, can you tell us a bit more about your background and what motivated you to pursue your career in early childhood education? So, my name is Deborah Hernandez. I was born and raised in Florida. I have three daughters, which are my life. I was a single mother for a very long time. So, my career was put on hold. My daughters were my priority. I always wanted to be a teacher, but never had the time or funds to go back to school. Recently, my husband convinced me into going back to school and to earn my degree in teaching. At first, I thought I was too old. This is not for me. It's too late already. But then I took his advice. I did start all over again in fall of 2022 at TSTC, and I earned my Associates of Applied Science in Education and Training in 2023. Then I earned my Bachelor's of Applied Arts and Science summa cum laude at Texas A&M University Commerce in May of 2025. Now I am currently working on my master's in education from Texas A&M Kingsville. Now I am doing an alternative program with Texas Teachers for Tomorrow. I still need to take my STR and EC through 6 exams to get certified as a teacher. Question number 2 is, what experiences have you had working with young children, either in a professional or volunteer capacity? So, one of the most recent experiences would be when I did some hours as a student teacher in a fourth grade classroom at Ben Milam Elementary School in Harlingen in 2023. During this time, I assisted children with homework and provided academic support as needed. I planned and facilitated age appropriate activities, including art and crafts, games, and educational projects. Question number 3 is, can you discuss a particular educational theory or philosophy that resonates with you and how you plan to apply it in your teaching practice? One educational theory that really resonates with me is constructivism, especially the idea that children learn best when they actively build their own understanding rather than just receiving information. Now, I connect with this approach because it treats children as thinkers who make sense of the world through hands on exploration, questions, and meaningful experiences. In my teaching practice, I would apply this by creating lessons where students can experiment, collaborate, and make choices. For example, letting them explore materials during a science activity instead of giving them step by step directions. I would also use open ended questions to guide their learning, such as asking, "What do you notice?" or "Why do you think that happened?" This approach helps students develop confidence, curiosity, and problem solving skills, and it creates a classroom environment where learning feels active and meaningful rather than passive. Question number 4, describe a successful lesson or activity you have conducted with young children. Why? What made it successful? So I created an outdoor science scavenger hunt for a fourth grade class. Students were asked what animals, plants, etc. were found outside in a garden. Then, once the students interacted with this information, I passed out an outdoor science scavenger hunt list. There were animals, plants, and leaves and rocks on this list, which included pictures glued on index cards that would be hidden in the school garden for the students to look for. Now, rules and instructions were given to the students before going out on their scavenger hunt, along with a brown paper bag with their names on it. Once outside in the school's garden, students looked for these items on the list. Now, the students were given 10 minutes to find as many items as possible and place them in their brown paper bag. After their time was up, we went back into the classroom and all the students sat at their desks and counted the items that each of them found to see who found the most items on the list. The students who found the most items would be given a certificate with their name on it. Now, the students were then asked if they had any other questions on this subject or anything they would like to share with the class on what they observed outside while on the scavenger hunt. This lesson was fun and educational for the students. Everyone had fun and learned at the same time. Question number 5. How do you create an inclusive classroom that accommodates children with diverse background and abilities? So, creating an inclusive classroom means building a space where every child feels welcome, respected, and able to learn no matter what their background, language, culture, or ability. I would start by getting to know each child and their family so I can understand their strengths, their needs, and the experiences they bring with them. This helps me choose materials and activities that reflect who they are. For example, books that show different cultures and family types, labels in multiple languages, and visuals that represent children with disabilities. I would also make sure lessons are flexible so all children can participate in ways that work for them. That might mean offering choices, using hands on material, giving extra time, or breaking tasks into smaller steps. I would model kindness and teach children how to work together, listen to each other, and celebrate differences. Most importantly, I would create a classroom where mistakes are okay and every child feels they belong. Question number 6. What tools or methods do you find most effective for evaluating early childhood development? So, one of the most effective methods is observing children while play and daily routines. Watching how they talk, solve problems, interact with each other, and use materials gives you the real natural information about their skills. Another helpful tool is developmental checklist, which help track milestones in areas like language, motor skills, and social emotional development. These checklists make it easier to notice progress or areas where a child may need support. I find work samples like children's drawings, early writing, or photos of what they built really helpful because they show how a child's thinking and skills grow over time. I also think family input is very important since families often see abilities at home that we may not see in the classroom. Now, using all of these methods together gives a more complete and fair picture of each child's development. Question number 7. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in the field of early childhood education? I would see myself taking on a leadership position such as an instructional coach, a curriculum specialist, or early childhood coordinator. Now, I could also see myself teaching at a college level and early childhood courses or early intervention programs. I would really enjoy becoming a principal in the future for an elementary school. What I do know is wherever the future takes me, I would see myself as a knowledgeable, reflective educator who is making a positive impact on young children, families, and school community. Question number 8. How do you reflect on your teaching practices to ensure continuous improvement? I would reflect on teaching practices by paying attention to what's working, what's not, and why, so you can keep growing as a future teacher. One simple way to do this is by taking a few minutes after a lesson to think about how the children responded. Were they engaged? Were they confused, excited? And what that tells you about your teaching. You can also keep a small reflection journal where you can jot down quick notes about your lessons, questions you have, or ideas you want to try next time. You can also be watching recordings of your teaching when possible. That gives you a clearer picture of your tone, your pacing, and interactions. Most importantly, reflections means being honest with yourself, staying open to change, and viewing mistakes as chances to learn. This mindset helps you grow into a thoughtful, flexible, and responsive teacher. Question number 9. How would you respond if you noticed a child in your class was consistently withdrawn and not engaging with peers or activities? If I notice a child who was often quiet, withdrawn, or not joining in with others, I would approach that situation gently with care. Now, my first step would be to observe the child during different parts of the day to see when the behavior happens and what might be triggering it. I would then try to build a connection by spending a little one on one time with the child, talking, playing, or doing an activity they enjoy so that they can feel safe and comfortable. I'd also make small adjustments into the classroom, like offering a buddy, giving choices, or creating calm spaces where the child can ease into activities at their own pace. Now, if the behavior continued, I would talk to the family to learn more about what the child is like at home and whether anything might be affecting them. My goal would be to support the child without pressuring them, helping them feel included, understood, and ready to participate in a way that feels right for them. And then question number 10 says, anything else you would like to share with me? Well, since I'm still not a certified teacher, I do want to say that these questions on this video really made me think of what my career would be like when I do become a teacher. And I am looking forward to putting all my effort into becoming a great teacher who will make a positive impact on my future students. Thank you so much. Have a great day.